In today's episode of Austin's Hot Takes, we're talking to Katy Mimari, fearless CEO and founder of Caden Lane.
Our mission is to help make all moms' lives easier because all moms are struggling and not perfect. When I was 24 years old, maybe your goal is, $500 million. I'd be like, are you day drinking again?
Join us for decades worth of game-changing business insights.
All right, we are on for the hot take episode with Katy. Katy is the CEO of Caden Lane. All the operators know her. We all love getting her opinion. She's always got something spicy for us. So I don't know what's going to happen today. We know what the question is, but I don't know what Katy's going to say. So here we go. So the question for Katy is, in your industry, what is something that you see that really is done wrong, or what has everyone not figured out that you have? And what is unique to kind of how you approach in your industry, right? Not just let's say the broad operator universe, but in your space.
You're talking about just in children's industry.
And maybe you can give people an overview just for new people that don't know Caden Lane, like your space.
Yeah, no, perfect. Yes. Just like you said, so my name's Katy. I'm the CEO and founder of Caden Lane. I'm extremely opinionated and not afraid to let you know.
That's awesome.
But I'm excited to be here. That's awesome. Okay, that's a good question. You gave me two questions. I want to answer both of them because I actually liked your second question better. But to go back to the first one about what makes us different and maybe are you asking for the secret sauce, Austin?
I don't want you to do too secret. Maybe not the secret, but just something that you're willing to share.
There's no secret. Honestly, I think, I've been doing this for 20 years. And that makes me like a dinosaur in e-commerce because we actually started before there was internet. So, but I think that is probably one of the things that helps us the most. Because our relationship with our customer is so close and so valuable. And I think a lot of these new companies that are coming into the marketplace, brands kind of make it look easy. If I was 23 again and wanting to start a company, I'd be like, I'm going to get a TikTok and be an influencer, and I'm just going to start a bamboo kids pajama line and it will be great. But what they don't realize is, it is really hard to reach a large audience. And, years ago, we could just get on Meta and say, I want to reach all women, that are 28 and 4 months pregnant. Well, that doesn't exist anymore. So now, we really have to make sure that we're using our creative to talk to our customers. And I think that's where we lean in a lot, is making sure that we're not just talking about super soft pajamas or your baby's first outfit. We try to really our mission is to help make all moms' lives easier because all moms are struggling and not perfect and doing everything half-ass if they're anything like me. And so we try to be relatable. And I think that that's important for any brand to hear in their own industry, right? And understanding how you relate to your customer, that great product is going to be what grows a wonderful business. But what really creates brand equity and respect for your brand, true brand, right, is connecting with your customer. And I think that's something that I have obsessed over for 20 years.
That's great. No, that's great. And it comes through in your personality. You're very passionate about, everything, which obviously means you're going to be passionate about making sure your customers are happy. And they can tell how much you care. That makes sense. Okay, let's jump to the second question, which I know you like more.
Okay, I know you wanted it to be all about the first question, but
now, so here's my second question. I prepped Katy before, which is, what do you think is stopping you and all of our operator friends from reaching their end goal with the business, and how do you overcome it? So
okay, and you didn't prep me. You said two questions, and I read them once, and in my brain I was like, Austin's second question is better. Our audience. And you know why? Because, and I think you and I have actually even talked about this separately.
Yeah.
when, in this, the thing I love about the operators is that we're talking to a bunch of entrepreneurs and people that are just so, like obsessed, like you said, with their businesses. And when we all start these companies, the end goal is always to sell, right? Like that is kind of when I was young, one day I'm going to start a company and oh my gosh, if I could hit this amount in revenue, then I'm selling that. That's it. I'm selling. And I think what we don't realize is that, sometimes we don't, I think, set the bar high enough for ourselves. And my goal, that I set for myself a long time ago, I hit it years ago.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But I missed it. Like I didn't even recognize that I had hit it until I looked back and I was like, wow, like that's something we did. And I think, myself, I'm constantly asking like, what is the next big step for Caden Lane? And, and you hear about these brands that are, selling to these huge strategic partners or going into private equity and, creating these like massive companies. And, and then there's also the stories of the brands that are still privately owned and don't have to answer to anybody and still grow to the same size, if not bigger, and all of the other ones that sold at some point. And so I don't know that I'm one to be giving advice on this because my opinion on it changes on the regular. Like, so
I know. We've talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Some weeks I'm like, that's it. I'm done. When I hit this next big thing, like, that's it. And then other weeks I'm like, oh my God, why would I ever want to change? Because to be honest, what the hell, what do you do if you're not working? What are you
going to do?
That's like a serial workaholic, right? Like we're like, oh, I don't really want to play tennis all day. And I'd probably end up drinking all day. So as long as loving what I do and I'm surrounded with people that I love working with, which I think is extremely valuable to anyone that's listening when you're hiring, even if they're remote, make sure that above anything else, you're going to enjoy working with this person because I think there's so much value in that.
Yeah. I mean, you spend more time at work. I mean, especially you, Katy, you spend more time with the people you work with than anyone else. Right.
Yeah.
So for that reason, you want to have a little fun along the way. Right. It's hard at scale. I mean, how many people are Caden Lane now? If you're
we're about 55. So, and that's including our warehouse. So that's including all of our fulfillment, shippers, staffers, and everything. But everything's all in one spot. So our whole, like marketing, customer service, we're completely in-house. And so we're all here. But yeah, I think I'm 45 years old, Austin. So I'll date myself. I'm not as old as you, but
that's true. That is true.
But so, right, like the thought, like, what does retirement look like?
Yeah.
And I think that the magical part of being an entrepreneur is that we get to define it for ourselves. And I would challenge everybody to kind of project out, what if it doesn't look like you living on an island, with nothing to do all day? What if it looks like you building a company that is, growing and profitable and amazing? And maybe you're working a little bit less, or maybe you've built up a team around you, to do what you used to do.
No, basically your answer is the only thing stopping you is you, right? Like is your cap on yourself, like how willing, because, we all talk, right? And you're right. That is it. Everyone's like, well, once we get here, and then everyone's like, well, no, now we want to launch this and we want to do, and it's, because starting from zero is so hard.
It is so hard. And I, I think that if I were to ever be done, I would last for about 2 weeks and then I'd have to start something new again.
Wow. Oh, wow. That's intense.
I couldn't do it. But I think you hit the nail on the head. I think as long as you're having fun doing it, then that is so valuable.
I agree.
So
it's like
maybe ask me again when I'm not having as much fun doing it. Then maybe my answer will change. But
I guess that's when you want to stop, is when you're not having fun. If you're not enjoying it and you're miserable, that's the moment, right? Maybe that's
the same approach with my first marriage. It was perfect.
Yeah, but I guess the message for everyone is what's stopping you is you, like your expectations, like your goals you set, and then as long as you're having fun, keep going. But if you're not, then maybe listen to your gut and it's time to move on. I guess that's true of a lot of things in life.
And I think keep raising the bar, right? Like a long time ago, my goal was like 10 million. Oh, and I thought that was so high. I was like, oh my God, if I ever hit 10 million in revenue, like that is insane. Yeah. And then we hit it. And then I hit, and then I raised it. And then I raised it again, and raised again. So now, like going back, if I told myself, when I was 24 years old, like, well, maybe your goal is, $500 million. I'd be like, are you day drinking again? What's happening?
So the new bar is $1 billion, right? That's our new bar. $1 billion.
That's a good bar.
That's it. That's a good bar. I like it. We said it here. That's the new bar.
I'm taking over the whole world of baby. Watch out.
That's it. Well, thanks so much, Katy. Appreciate the time.
Yeah, it's good talking to you, Austin.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want more marketing hot takes, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to avoid missing any future videos.